Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I first of all just want to introduce myself. I am Lisa Perry. For those of you that don't know me, my husband Brian and I here in this photo have been in, have been in business for 25 years. We've been married for 25 years. So we spend a lot of time together and fortunately really like each other. We started in graphic design, and then when the internet came along, we actually added website development. And then within the past 5 years, social media marketing has certainly exploded for us. So we purchased this very cool historic house in downtown Concord, and that is where we now run our company from. We have a staff of Perry pros that do amazing work with us. Excuse me. So we're just excited about what we do today. This presentation is in partnership with the Cabarrus Regional Chamber, which I love and am a part of. This Success in 60 series started about a year ago. I used to do a lot of teaching and seminars in person, and what we saw was attendance was kind of declining. And so we looked at doing them virtually, allowing people to then download recorded versions. And we've seen a real increase in attendance. We know this is information that people need. The Chamber also offers other topics besides social media. I love the ones on human resources. So it's a real value added benefit to Chamber members. But this video-based learning is something that I love. As much as I love being live with people, I know that this works with schedules. So I know you're busy, and I want to dive right into the content because, like I said, I have a whole lot to share. And today's focus is all on video and photos. And I really wanted to start with equipment because I get asked that question a lot. There's so many people who don't dive into video or don't take great photos because they think they just don't have the right equipment. And, I will tell you right now, you can make amazing videos and take amazing photos with your smartphone. You don't need additional equipment, and I'm going to show you how you can make the most of that. But if you want to go the next step and you're trying to figure out what you want to invest in for your company, I love, 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 love this little video camera, video creator kit. We bought this about 2 years ago, and it has just been exceptional. The quality of the videos that we put out with this is so great. That we take photos with it as well, but I will tell you it's primarily for us for videos. We don't have a zoom lens or anything like that for high end photos. I actually use my iPhone for most of my photos, but this is primarily, like I said, our video source. Now, we paid about $1,000 for the camera and the microphone. I found it in a search. Actually, it's on sale for $649, which is an amazing deal for you to have a really, truly professional video for yourself. I recommend adding an extra battery, an extra SD card, because if you do happen to be on a long photo shoot, we've had that happen where the batteries run out or the SD card gets full. We also upgraded our microphone. The one that comes with the camera sometimes picked up a little bit of extra feedback, so we just got the next level up of the road, and that's done really well for us. And we also have a tripod. Talking a little bit more about tripods in general, definitely recommend that be something that you have handy. This is one of the most popular ones that's out there if you're going to be out and about, and this is used by a lot of vloggers. If that's part of what you might be doing, you can see that it is very adjustable and it can tie onto things like this one does. I'm actually super excited about this one, though, because I was just at a conference recently and they were talking about the negatives of the GorillaPod tripod because it can be kind of cumbersome to hold on to and to set up. And this is a really cool one that's actually on Kickstarter right now that Pat Flynn developed. And it's got a very easy to hold handle. You can see how it holds it back away from you a little bit. So especially if you're going to be doing any video of yourself, this is really helpful. But as soon as you let go of that, the other two legs pop out and it's easy to stand up. So I ordered one of these immediately because this is something that's going to work for me as I grow the vlogs I'm doing and the videos I'm doing. So something else that you can look at. But it's good to have one of those kind of travel tripods that isn't as big as the one that stands. I also highly recommend you invest in just a little bit of lighting. I'll be honest, we bought this kit from Walmart for less than $100 because I know nothing about lighting, and we are not a full video company. We do social media videos for our clients, but we knew that there were sometimes that we were in a dark office or something. We just needed a little bit of extra lighting. And so we wanted to invest in something. And this has been amazing for us. So really simple, easy to set up. It comes with 3 backgrounds, the green screen, a white and a black. We mainly use the white. And then just those couple lights. We certainly don't use all of this. It comes with a travel bag. So when we're going out to a client's office, it's really great. Lindsay took this to a recent photo shoot at the Y, and you can see she only used the white sheet and the 2 lights, but these are the photos to the left that she was able to shoot with that backdrop, and you can see how great they came out. So with that camera, with that backdrop, these were some amazing photos that she was able to take with just that simple setup. Another lighting source that you might want to look at is if you are doing Facebook Lives, which I highly recommend. This is a nice little selfie ring, and you can see that will just shine a little bit of extra light directly on your face. And what I like about this one is it actually holds your phone, so it's got it right in position. You don't have to worry about positioning the great big lights. This is just kind of an all-in-one. It's easy to travel. And it's $43. So, I don't like to recommend anything that's too expensive. There are a lot of things out there on the market, but easy things for you to spend just a little bit of money on, but to make sure that you've got, good lighting. Another piece of equipment, again, if you're going to be outside, traveling around a little bit, you don't want your videos to have that Blair Witch effect where you're getting your viewers seasick. So any type of gimbal stabilizer, this is a really cool one because it actually has a built-in tripod. So if you wanted to go from moving around to standing, it's nice. It's also got some controls, but it basically holds your phone steady while you're moving. So if you go to this website, there's some videos on there that show somebody filming somebody doing yoga because they're selling yoga apparel, and it just holds the whole scene steady even though you're moving around the person. So a stabilizer can be another piece of equipment that you may want to invest in. Also, again, you may already know this, but an external battery, especially if you're shooting with your smartphone. I was, like I said, recently at a conference, I was doing a lot of videos of myself and was draining my phone. So a simple Mophie or other external battery. As you up your photo and video game, you've got to know that you're not going to have enough power to get through a day. So make sure that you have those things. And really, like I said, while you can get by with just your iPhone for photos and videos, those are just a few things that if you want to kind of take your video game up to the 201 level, I did see some questions about that initially. Those are some things that you can invest in. Another thing I like to cover first before we even go into strategy on both video and photos is free stock photography. I get asked about it all the time. If first and foremost, I recommend you take your own photos. The more you can use yourself, your team, anything original is great, but there are definitely times where you just need a stock photo to accent whatever it is you're doing. Pixabay is a great one. Unsplash is another free resource. Be careful with these sites. Sometimes they actually advertise paid photos within them. That's how they make money. So make sure that when you're on these sites, you are actually in the free section. Sometimes you got to search a little bit. Pexels is another one that you can check out. I actually love, my preferred is 123RF. These are not free. They're by credits. So if you want a version for social media, it might be 3 credits. If you want one for print, it's like 10. But this has, to me, a little bit higher quality, a little bit more variety. It also has vector-based images. So I like to buy a vector sheet that has a whole bunch of icons on it so that there can be some consistency, like if we're building a website or if we're doing something else, they all have a similar look and feel. You can really save a lot of graphic design costs by purchasing that type of stock photography. So this is one I really like when I don't necessarily need something free. So just a little bit of resources that you can use there. Now let's dive into the strategy. So what do you need to know about making video? Two things. And if you can remember these two things when you're thinking through anything you're doing on social, I think you'll be successful. And sadly, a lot of people forget this. It's that you want the people that you're trying to reach out to know, like, and trust you, not buy from you, not right now, and maybe not even on social media. And the other big thing is to be more human. Too much focus is on product and more should be on human experience. So if you can keep those two things in mind as you're creating these videos, is what I'm doing getting people to know, like, and trust me? And am I being a human? Am I, showing the human side of my business? Am I showing the human experience of using my product? Those are the things that you really want to focus on. So I'll mention that throughout. If you're asking yourself, why should I even do video? One reason alone, Facebook. Obviously, this stat from Mari Smith, who's a leading Facebook expert, 70% of video posts for 2019 should be video. So if you're doing anything on video, if you do 10 posts, 7 of them should be video. That's going to sound overwhelming to you until you get through this presentation, because I'm going to show you some quicker ways to create videos. But I want you to remember not to be just throwing random stuff up there. Make sure that it fits that test of know, like, and trust. Is that video, any video that you share, accomplishing that? The whole viral video thing is not your goal. You do not necessarily want to spend your time trying to create a viral video. You are not even in control of that. But you want to make videos that people want to watch. And so, like I said, we'll talk about that a little more. So let's start with video goals. A lot of people jump right into videos. They just start shooting whenever they want. But like anything else, if you're going to be successful, you want to think about what your goals are. So number one, ask yourself these 5 questions. I would even print this out. Anytime you're starting a video, outline this. So why are you creating this? Is it to grow an audience? Is it to get engaged? And is it to get engagement? Notice I didn't say sell a product. If you're going to be primarily using your videos on social media, growing the audience and getting engagement is more important than selling. In fact, selling to people will actually turn them away. So think about how you devour content. You want to be dated. You want to be wined and dined a little bit. You want to be shown how this is going to improve my life, how it's going to answer my pain points, not necessarily here's the sale. So make sure the why. Why am I creating this video? Where does this video fall in the sales process? Is this going to people who know nothing about me? So I really need to dive deep into who I am. Or is this somebody that knows me and I'm just trying to take them to the next level of really engaging with me? Again, ask who's the video for and address that. And you can even address that in your title, maybe, that this webinar is for beginners, or which would be very different than if this was a webinar for advanced videographers. So make sure you know who the video is for. Why would someone watch this video? And that's where you can tie in the pain points. Examples of that might be 3 ways to solve your problem of lighting. So I'm being very specific about somebody who already does video, but they're not making great videos because their lighting's always bad. And I'm in this video going to teach them how to improve their lighting. So think about, why would somebody watch this? What's your real purpose? What are you going to teach them? What action do you want people to take after seeing this video? One of the things I'm going to encourage you to do, of course, everybody would say, well, I want them to buy my product, or I want them to make a donation to my charity. Or a lot of the times the next action is to watch another video or to visit your website. So like I said, we're going to talk about doing some serial type videos. And sometimes that can really take people down that engagement and getting to know, like, and trust you path. And then lastly, how can you make this video clear and easy to understand? Starting with an outline. And I'm going to give you kind of 5 steps to making a good video as well. So really, really clear and easy. You do not want to waste people's time. I watch the way my kids watch videos and it terrifies me. It's just click, 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 click. You know, the attention span is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So whatever you have to say has to be quick, efficient, and clear. And really, really easy for that user to understand. So make sure you kind of go through your goals, figure out exactly what you want to do in your videos, and then you want to decide, well, what platform am I putting it on? So a great default is 16 by 9 or widescreen format. That would be what you would put on YouTube, maybe on Facebook. You still want to go that way. There's a lot of talk about starting to film in portrait for stories and for even Facebook. Like I said, what I'm still hearing is if you plan on repurposing your video, meaning you're going to use it on different platforms, you probably still want to go widescreen. And that way you can edit it. But keep in mind, if you're going to film a video at 16 by 9 and you know you're going to take it and put it on your stories, either Facebook or Instagram, make sure your subject is in the center. So you're going to have a tough time doing a wide shot with multiple people in it and then get that to transition 9 by 13. So think about, excuse me, the content, think about the framing, and if you are going to repurpose it, how you shoot that initial one will affect it. Now, there's lots of times that you may want to do portrait if you know it's just going straight to your story, or if it's going straight to Instagram, you want to do square. So think about how you're going to use it. I like to get a lot of bang for my buck when I'm doing videos, so we usually default to that widescreen format so that we can edit it the way that we want. So let's take a minute to talk about the 5-step video formula. So this can be a really easy way for you to outline pretty much any video that you're going to do. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is doing their intro first and forgetting the hook. So think of it this way. The hook is kind of the thing that's going to get people interested in this video in the first place. It's what we call around here the subject line of your email. You can write a fantastic email, but if the subject line is boring, no one ever even opens it. So the hook is something that is going to really catch somebody's attention, especially if they're on social media and they're just flipping through. What's going to make them stop? The hook also probably needs to be done without sound, because so many people are on social media without their sound on. So it can't necessarily be something that somebody says. So that first kind of thing is 3 to 5 seconds. Then you can go into an intro where you talk a little bit about yourself, then the content, a little bonus, and then a call to action. So whether that video is 30 seconds or 5 minutes, that's a great little formula that you can have for putting together a good video. Now, another great thing that I heard, if you're going to do any type of serial type video where there's multiple ones, or if you're going to start doing like a weekly YouTube channel, anything like that, is not to introduce yourself as if it's the first time somebody's met you every time. That's what I used to think. I used to think, well, gosh, if people don't know who you are, you need to let them know. Well, and I've noticed this ever since I heard it with videos, is act like you've been there before. Act like that person has been there before. A lot of videos start with, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here this week to da-da-da-da-da. And last week, you probably heard me talk about this. And that way they know, well, gosh, I better go back and check out last week's video, or I might need to go see what else this person's done. So don't relaunch every single video that you do if you're doing any type of service. Series, but it's a great way for you to give yourself authority, to give yourself, like I said, the opportunity to promote kind of other things that you have out there. So, but get to the content as quickly as possible. And when you're creating a video, you want to think about that person and the value that you're giving to them. Not what you're selling, not what's in it for you, but what's in it for them. They've taken the time to view what you're putting out there. Make sure it's worth it. And don't be afraid to give away some content for free. You need to be creating content, and lots of it, to keep people engaged and really to build that know, like, and trust factor. The way I like to approach videos is I share things personally about myself, because I want them to get to know me. I want them to know about my family, my husband, my business. That's how they're going to get to trust me. And they're going to then like me because I'm funny, or I'm entertaining, or I'm interesting, and because I've given them good content. at the end of the day. And I love this bonus part because if you've sold your video as, I'm going to teach you the best equipment to use for shooting videos, but then later in, stick around. You can say early on in your content, be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to give you 3 great editing tips as well. If you're doing anything on YouTube, finishing the video at least to halfway, if not to completion, YouTube rewards you for that. So adding something in there that's going to get people to stick around until the end is a really good tip as well. So I kind of like that 3-minute range, 2 to 3 minutes, especially for things on YouTube, maybe a little shorter for social media, for Facebook and Instagram, but a great little bonus of encouraging people to stay till the end. And then last but not least, the call to action. So I'm going to share some examples, like I said, of what those calls to action can look like. So let's take a minute to also look at video types. So you want to think that through as well. Are you creating a, what I call kind of a YouTube influencer expert in your industry? You want to position yourself as a thought leader in your industry. And the best way to do that is regularly go onto video and share your knowledge. And so those type of serial weekly type things are a great way to do that. You can also do a video that's more of a long form commercial style. So there's a stat that for the first time ever, ad spend on social media has exceeded ad spend by brands on television because, well, one, television's so expensive and social media is so much more reasonable, but also people don't watch them. There's so many ways to skip through a commercial on TV or watch something on Netflix. So, these long form videos that are kind of like commercials that tell a lot about your product are being seen more and more on social media. And then there's the tutorial style, like I said, where I'm teaching you to do something. Those can be quick 2-minute, 3-minute. If you have a longer, something that's more complicated, it can be up to 12 to 15 minutes, but I kind of like short ones that are split up. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Another video type you can do is the top of mind, just keeping you top of mind with other people. That can be educating them, not necessarily a tutorial, but just educating them about recent things in the industry, or they can just be simply fun and entertaining. I'm going to show you some examples of some that we're doing here that are behind the scenes, that are just keeping us top of mind, and they're just entertaining, and they're just kind of sharing more about us and our team, bringing them behind the scenes. And then I'm not going to talk a lot about this today, but highly encourage you to stay tuned because I'm going to have a lot more coming about live video on Facebook and Instagram. This is certainly a great thing for you to do. I know a lot of people have a lot of fears about it, self-included. Going live can be really intimidating, but people love it. And that's where brands are getting the most engagement. So, certainly lots of ways that you can incorporate video into what you're doing. So I took a video example and broke it up a little bit into the 5-step video formula. This is Amy Landino. She has a YouTube show called Amy TV, and it's a tutorial type style. This is talking about time management. So the first slide that I have here is the very first thing out of her mouth, and this literally is 2 seconds, is just something about don't have time, I've got tips for you. So she's addressing a pain point and letting you know that what this video is about immediately. Then she goes into her little intro, which is just another maybe 3 seconds, intro that's in all of her videos. So this series is called Mission Best Life, and then the title is Time Management Tips That Actually Work. So really quick branding, really quick who she is. Something else that she does that's a little bit of an add-on is she actually has a micro call to action, which is this bottom left, subscribe to Amy TV. So if you happen to be doing anything on YouTube, getting people to subscribe to your channel is really important. So she briefly mentions that at the very beginning. And that's, you can do that with mentioning, hey, leave me a comment on Twitter, leave me a comment on Instagram, follow me over here. So just a little something that tells people where else they can find you. Don't make that too big because they may not even know you yet, so you don't want to really be asking them for a whole lot. But she dives directly into her content. She'll sometimes, mention something bonus, certainly talk about sticking around to the end. And then this last slide is her call to action, which is just to answer a question in the comments, because if you get comments on YouTube, that's going to rank you higher as well. And so she's wanting to know what's working for you and what are you still struggling with. So asking for that engagement. One of the other big issues is in our videos, we don't ask for what we want people to do. Tell them, comment below, click on the bell to subscribe. Ask for it if you want to gain those additional followers. And then lastly, the other thing I like is in her description of her video, she actually lists some of her other videos to watch more. So her big call to action is comments and watch more videos, because the more videos you watch, the more you're going to follow her, the more you're going to know, like, and trust her. So just a couple tips. Another kind of hurdle people have for creating videos is, I'm not going to make anything that looks as good and as polished as Amy's does. Wrong. You need to let go of the high quality and polish because it's just killing the results that you could be getting. It is much more important that you put out consistent videos with great value. It does not matter if you have the best looking, slick video with zero content that is valuable to the viewer. Then if you have something that's, still definitely invest in making it look good, but it may not look like a super high-tech studio, but you're giving great content and you're entertaining and people feel good when they're watching you. They feel good after they've watched you. They are going to come back. But it's got to be consistent. And so I recommend, and even what we're doing here is trying to get videos batch created. So a little bit of time management is create 4 at a time, because that way you can, roll those out and you have a month ahead, and then you can be spending the next month creating the next 4. Be cognizant of your time. I work with a lot of companies that have small staffs. It can be really tough to do. But if you time block and you keep them micro-messaged with those tiny things, focus on just one thing. I'm not going to teach everybody everything there is to know about Facebook in one video. Choose one thing and focus on that, and then make that a series. Maybe that's how to set up your Facebook page. I could break that up into 3 different videos of the different areas to focus on. So do what is manageable, but consistency over quality. Do the best quality that you can with the best equipment that you can, but don't let that prevent you from doing video. Second one I've kind of alluded to already is a video series. Instead of doing one 15-minute video, break it up into 3 5-minute videos or 5 3-minute videos. It's this whole encouraging a Netflix-style binge watch. I know you're all out there. You binge watch. I've watched, season after season, stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning because I can't possibly turn it off. That's what you want. That's the experience you want to give people with your videos. If I am searching for something and I land on a 15-minute video, the first conversation I'm going to have with myself is, do I have 15 minutes? And is this content worth the commitment of 15 minutes? It's a big commitment. If it's longer, then that's even a bigger commitment. But I've got 3 minutes, and then once I watch those 3 minutes, gosh, I can watch another 3 minutes, right? And then you end up at 15 minutes anyway. And so this is just a great tip for, creating. It's easier to create them that way. It's also easier for people to consume them that way. And then my third tip, again, not going to cover this so much today, but make a plan to go live. If you can move people into groups, like if you happen to have a Facebook group like we do, we have 2, one for nonprofits and one for small businesses, I'm going to start going live once a week in that community to really share lots of new information about my industry and to build authority. When you're live, you can be a little more casual. People will know, like, and trust you in that environment. So, and the other great thing about going live is you don't have the setup. You don't necessarily have editing. Yes, you're going to stumble a little bit, but people will forgive you. And like I said, if you're giving good content, then that's all that really matters. So let's talk about some tools. So I know this is what lots of people show up for, is what do we recommend? And I'm going to start with the most inexpensive, but a super duper template-based video creation and editing tool called Wave. Why do I like this? Well, it's got built-in stock footage library. I mean, so sometimes if you're really on a budget and you don't have a camera and you just need some footage of something, they actually may have it. It's kind of like stock photography, but with video. They've also got some great video templates. I'll slip over here real fast. You can see all these different templates that they have. So if you're looking for something for April Fools, or if you're looking for something about accounting, or anything, you can search anything. And they have tons of templates that you can start with. So this is a huge time saver for folks who don't have a lot of time and money. The other thing I love about this is you can actually resize your videos. They've got the social media sizes, the exact Instagram post size versus Instagram story size, Facebook size. So you don't have to worry about all that ratio setting. This will actually do it for you. You can upload your own video and media files and photos. So this is a great tool. If you're familiar with Canva, which I'm going to show you a little later in this presentation, this is like Canva, but for video. You can also add stickers and GIFs to make it feel even more social. So a great tool. Like I said, you can make some really easy, quick videos to get out there short and just emphasize your branding. Very inexpensive. You can see they have a free version. The creator version is only $8, and if you jump up to the business plan, it's only $16 a month. There's usually, that's if you prepay. You can also do a monthly version. I highly recommend you invest a little bit of money in some of these programs that are going to save you tons of time and be easy for you to use, be easy for people across your team to use. This is a great one. And they also have a lot of wonderful tutorials and examples and things that are going to help you along the way. Another tool that we use a lot here at our company is Wideo. This is if you're doing one that's almost kind of like a infographic. I love this. We actually customize the Did You Know one. Every single piece of that can be changed, from the colors to the graphics to the text. And it's another great way to get a video that you can put on your website or on social or use in a lot of different ways. It's got a monthly or an annual subscription as well. If you're looking to do editing on your desktop, I love Camtasia. Now these start to get a little bit more expensive, so you want to make sure that you are going to have a need for this. But like, we do a lot of tutorials where I want to be able to show my desktop and walk people through exactly how to do something. So that's what Camtasia is. It's an actual screen recorder, but it's a video editor too. It's $250, and you can get that on 2 different computers, so more than one person can use it. So Camtasia, definitely love this program. As far as editing just straight up video, iMovie, if you're a Mac user, is free. It comes on every single device. It's also what I use on my phone. And I created lots of little videos for social just using the iMovie app directly from my phone, taking a little bit of footage, editing it, putting it together, adding a little bit of text. Quick and easy ways to create videos. Like on the desktop, you can actually do a lot more. You can add music and other things like that. But a free version if you're a Mac user. Now, the step up from that, if you're ready for that higher level of editing, the 2 big dogs are Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a monthly fee, about $21 a month, or Final Cut Pro, which is actually what we use here. That's a flat $300, but that's got every bell and whistle and everything imaginable. So just some tools that we recommend depending on where you are in your video journey. And here we use all of the above, because sometimes we want to just have a video that we create in an hour that was based off of a template. Other times we're doing something for an annual meeting that's got 2 different days worth of footage, and we've got to splice it together and include B-roll. So some of these more sophisticated programs like Adobe or Final Cut Pro are better for that. But my new favorite is creating videos on your smartphone. So this is by far the quickest and easiest and most inexpensive way to create videos. And I recently discovered InShot, and you can see that there is a free version, or you can pay $4.50 for it. You can see in this video, my golf video here in the lower right-hand corner, it just puts the InShot logo, and you'll see ads if you do the free version. So, that's okay. If any of you have used some other apps, sometimes they do that, but if it's worth $4.50 to you, you can have that removed. The reason I love InShot even over iMovie is because it's got a lot of other features in it, and I'll show you some of what I like about that. So you can take whatever video with your phone, and again, the first decision you want to make is, am I going to do it landscape or portrait, and then how am I going to put it together? So I was playing around on the golf course the other day, and I'm like, I'm going to make a little video just to play around with this app. So you click on video, and then it actually takes you into your camera roll, so you can see all the video footage that I've had. Some I did sideways or portrait, some I did landscape. So I can actually choose the clips that I want one at a time. And so I picked one, and then if you hit this plus sign in the corner, you can actually add a second one. So especially if you're trying to put together a multi-clip video on your phone, this is a great app for that. So the first thing you can do is just insert them all into one file. You can then drag them around. You can take the one you inserted last, move it to front, and just organize it that way. Then you can actually use the little scissor and trim it. So especially, you can see this shot here, I'm actually, I have to hit record to set it up and then back away. Well, I don't want that to be part of my final video. So I can just click trim and drag this little white line over, and I'm going to be able to trim that right to the beginning of where I want this video to start. So very helpful, especially if you're doing video by yourself. Then the other things that you can click on is Canvas, and this is where you can choose right within the app what format you want this to be on. So do you want it to be for Instagram in the one-to-one or for 4x4 format? And you can even see they have the little Instagram logo on it. This is the YouTube 16:9. So it's telling you what format do you want to edit this in. Like we said, sometimes you want to start with that 16:9 and edit it from there. In my little golf one, I knew I was just going to put this on Instagram and push it over to Facebook, so I chose that one. Now, if you happen to do, let me flip back to that example that I had. I did this portrait. Well, you're going to get all that stuff on the sides, right? That's the beef with people. If they're shooting portrait video, then we have all this dead space on the sides. Well, within this app, I can actually fill that space up with something fun. So it doesn't look like, oh, I just shot the video. It's like I intended to do that. So that's one thing I really like about this app, is it allows me to fill that space. So once I've chosen that, I can go to filter, and I can add music, and I can put some stickers on it, like that little golf image that you saw, and I can add some text. So in this video, I really wanted it just to be fun. So that's why I even included a filter that made it look, not exactly as it did. It gave it a little bit more animated. I also sped up the speed to 1.5 because, as I mentioned, I wanted it to be entertaining. I'm not trying to tell anybody anything. I'm just trying to entertain. So I changed the filter, sped it up, cropped it to just the part I wanted, and then added some text on the sides to just make it visually interesting. So very, very quick little video, and I was able to download it to my phone. You can see that it's right here now in a 13-second. It goes right to your camera roll, and then you can post it to social. So super quick and easy way, InShot, to make a video directly from your phone. So the complete opposite of that is if you're going to do more of a long form video, just a couple ones. I'm not going to show them today because we don't have time, but when I send you this presentation after, go watch these videos because they are amazing. So this is a great example of a character-driven video. I love the example of Chapbooks is in the market of scrapbooking. And so what they did extremely well is they addressed the pain points of scrapbooking. Because if you think about, oh, I want to put my photos together scrapbook, you're thinking of the big dogs like Snapfish or Shutterfly. So how does chapbooks get noticed? Well, they hired a company called the Herman Brothers, and they created this amazing video centered around this character of a very, very busy mom, because that is someone that we can identify with. And it pokes fun at all the reasons we don't make scrapbooks. And it sells why their app is the best one to use. Very, very entertaining. Now, granted, this company spent a lot of money on this video, but it had 16 million views. 16 million. So it was very successful. I like to look at these things and say, how can I do a version of that? I'm loving this character-driven video path, whether that's someone you know, someone that works for your company, the owner of your company. How can you kind of develop a character? It's not about the scrapbook. It's about the person. It's about the person that's going to order it, and how can you identify their pain points. So just a great video for you to check out. Like I said, I've got the links there. Once they established this character, they continued her throughout, and she became a recognizable figure in their marketing. So something you actually can replicate on a very micro level for small businesses and nonprofits. So I'm loving this new way of doing things. They also do that playlist that we talked about earlier, Chattymonials. Very clever way that they branded these, but these are real people. This is a grandmother who gets these chapbooks in the mail from her kids. It features the product, but it's a first-person account of a user. Another video style that I really like is these user-generated ones. This is a fantastic one from the North Face that was called Question Madness. It really focused on their audience, which is these extreme sports folks. Everything in the video was something that somebody else took, bloggers, and they sent in and they created the story just from user-generated content. So if you've got folks, posting photos on social, you can turn that into a video, because people love to see other people enjoying the product more than you telling them why they should love it. So in this particular video, you're going to see that it also starts with pain points. What's the pain point? You see tears, pain, cuts, bruises, failures, but then the music kind of changes and you see the smiles and celebrations and success of overcoming those obstacles. So it's very much storytelling in this type of video, and it's very, very effective. What they've also done is broken it down into playlists. This is an example of what a YouTube playlist looks like and how you can then group these videos. They've taken that bigger video and focused in on just one person's experience. So very, very clever, and they're very effective videos. But again, something that you can model your video plans after. One of the things that we do here, as well as behind the scenes videos, we put out something called marketing minutes, which is usually me in the red chair, just sharing something quick and easy about marketing. And so I tend to do a lot of bloopers because I don't get it right on the first take. So our video person, Lindsay, started collecting all those and put together a cute little blooper reel. I'm not going to lie, this video got more views than any of my marketing minutes, but it's because people love to see behind the scenes. They love to see the mess ups. They love to see my human side. They feel like they're getting to know me. And so this got lots of engagement on social media. Another series that we're coming out with is we've actually put some of our employees in the red chair, and they're actually poking fun at Brian and I and funny things that we do around the office. So you're kind of getting to know us more, but you're also hearing it from our employees. So behind the scenes videos that are falling into that category of entertaining, not necessarily teaching you anything, but getting to know us better. I also love videos that are going to show your personality and expertise, but like in Chris McCartan's case, he did a unique location. He is an attorney here in town, and he actually did this in a bar. But it's a cool setup. He's funny, but also a great authority on his topic. But he's not sitting in front of a bunch of law books, which is what you normally see in law videos. So, he took it to say, okay, why would somebody watch this? Because I'm looking at this setup and I'm like, I got to see what this guy has to say. showing his personality. Same thing with Hilbish Ford, another client of ours. They've got a great salesman who is willing to get in front of that camera, show his personality. He's really funny, talks about different ways to use your car, but he's actually demonstrating the features on the car at the same time. So we're getting to know him, but we're also learning something about this vehicle, and it can lead down the road to a purchase. So lots of information there about video. I've spent more time on video than I will on photos, just because that is where I believe you should spend your time. But want to switch over a little bit into photo strategy. It's the same thing. The photos that you put out and the images should help people know, like, and trust you, and help you be more human. Does this sound familiar? Very, very similar, very simple, and something you can do. So I pulled this. This is my Instagram feed, just to show you a little bit about how I do my branding when I'm doing photos. And like I said, I'm going to show you Canva, which is my platform of choice. I am actually married to a graphic designer who could do all these graphics for me, but I choose to actually do a lot of them myself because I want to be able to tell people you can do this yourself. And even if you're not a designer, but it's also why I'm using Canva. That's a template-based program. But you can see the image that I'm trying to put out. A lot of these photos are of me. And you can say, you know, oh, I don't want to brag about myself. I don't want to put myself out there. But these are the photos that people love across the board. You know, people are not going to like this photo of our conference as much as they're going to like this one with me with the St. Patrick's Day hat on, because it shows my personality. It's not necessarily teaching or anything, but people like me. They get to know my personality. But what I'm trying to do is actually have a little bit of consistency. So I'm a huge basketball fan. I love March Madness. And so we did similar looks for these two photos. And when I posted these on Instagram, I also told a little story about where I got this jersey. I told a little story about why I love St. Patrick's Day. So, you know, I'm sharing about myself so people can get to know me more. But I also have in here, you know, the free webinar that I have, and the conference that we have coming up. We've got some behind the scenes things. You can see that I've also added in the aesthetic of quotes. I mean, you see these quotes all over social media, but these are my colors, my branding, similar fonts. And I'm going to show you how you can do that with your visuals so that it doesn't look sloppy and it doesn't look messy. I mean, everything is consistent. Even the images that we're doing to promote our speakers, they have a similar look and feel. Now, the conference that I was just at, I showed some selfies that I took with some of the speakers, so I have that too. But I want to make sure I have some consistent looking graphics as well that look polished. Now, all of these two, the March Madness and the St. Patrick's Day, were taken in front of that white sheet with that camera, but could have been taken with a cell phone just as easily. Photo session, just go do it. Like I said, I don't love to have my picture taken all the time, but there are days that I tell my staff I'm putting the makeup on, I'm getting the clothes. Sometimes I'll bring 3 and 4 outfits in, but we have to take some photos and show ourselves. You know, we took some around the office. I took one. I use these for a lot of different things. We took some fun ones because that shows our personality. And we're using them on our website, in our sales proposals, on our social media profiles. I mean, you can see I'm using this on my LinkedIn. I used one in this webinar. So take the time to take photos yourself. Like I said, while you can do stock photography, the very best photos you can take are your own. I want to give a really quick plug, even though this isn't about Instagram. Instagram is the visual platform of choice, but it can be hard to keep up with. I love this program, Planoly. Between Canva and Planoly, they're the only things I use to manage my Instagram account. You can actually schedule posts and drag them around so you can have a nice aesthetic, so you don't have like all of these quote graphics in a row. You can see the U means that they're unscheduled. So even though I went and I batch created a bunch of the testimonial or the quote graphics, I'm not using them all at the same time. So they can just hang out in here and be unscheduled, and then when I'm ready, I can put them into the lineup. But I was able to schedule 2 weeks worth of posts in one day. That way I don't have to worry about it. When I was at the conference, I did upload a few and they'll just go right into the mix, but this scheduler allows you to batch prep your photos and get them going out regularly. So Planoly is a great program. The other thing I really like about Planoly, just sidebar, is you can actually save hashtags into groupings, so you're not retyping those all the time. This only runs about $7 to $15 a month. It's a great investment for you to be able to manage your photos and put more of them out there. Excuse me. So you can use our referral link if you want, but that's just a great recommended program for managing your visuals. So now I just want to talk about Canva. So this will be the last thing I talk about. If you already know Canva and you're already a fan, I may be preaching to the choir, but if you don't, and you don't have a graphic designer on staff, even if you do, like I said, I'm married to one, this is a great way for things to do it yourself. Now, what I love right off the bat, look, Instagram post size, Instagram story size, Facebook post size, everything is perfectly sized. I don't quite know why they have margaritas. I think they're just marketing directly to me here, but everything is perfectly sized and you don't have to think about it or resize it. One of the things that I think looks the sloppiest on social media is when you have missized images on the different platforms. So this completely takes that out of the picture. Canva allows you to design, I mean, these designs are created by graphic designers, but they're customizable, and there are tons of templates. Like I said, they've got the preset platform, social platform sizes. I love the existing font combinations. Sometimes people put together really bad font combos or they use too many fonts. These are suggested by a designer. You can actually store your brand colors, which I love. For instance, those quote graphics that I mentioned. You can also store your font styles. This is a huge time saver, and they're really easy to then download and use. So this is an example of, I started with this template, and that's what I created my other two graphics from. So that was kind of like my vision, but you can see how I changed the colors, I changed the text, I changed the photo, and I made them my own. But it was so easy for me. I think I knocked these out in like 10 minutes because I had this, oh, that's kind of the look I want. Let me just go ahead and customize it from there. And then, like I said, I wrote in my little Instagram text using Planoly. This is the brand kit. This I love, love, love. I just went in and chose some brand colors. You can actually use your hex number if you have that. You can also upload your logo, and then you can over here do the same thing with your fonts. So every time you're creating a graphic, those are going to hop right to the top, so you're not having to search and search and search for fonts, but it's really going to give you consistency across all of your images if you stick to a certain branding. Now, the nice thing is if you happen to have more than one brand, you can actually have more than one palette. So you can do multiple things. But I like to, I like this because I can stick pretty much within my own color palette when I'm designing. So this is Canva. So I'm actually going to hop over here right now to show you Canva, so that when you log in, this is exactly what you'll see. And I just want to show you around a few things that if you want to create a design from scratch, you can just create and then choose that social media size. So let's say we're going to do an Instagram post. And then right here, you immediately get dumped into all of the templates. So you can see there are some are free. If it doesn't say free, it's not. But you can spend, just like with 123RF, you could maybe spend $1 or $2 for one of these templates. If it's something that's going to save you hours and hours of time, it might be worth it. But you can scroll through here and kind of choose one that you want to start with and say, okay, well, I like this, but I want to go ahead and I want to change some things about it. But at least gives you a starting point to go from, because you really want to be able to use a banner with some type of call to action. Down here, you might want to use this for your website, and then you can customize from there. So once you pull that over, you can come up here and drag down, and right at the top are my branded fonts. So, okay, I want to make sure that that's in that font, and I can change this one to be my header font. So now I've got my branding. Same thing I can do is go grab my colors, because right here at the top, I've got my branded colors. So look at how quick and easy I'm able to start changing this to my own branding. Now, I could completely delete that heading. I could add a photo. There's a lot of different things I can do. I can drag and drop and move things around. Even, you can change transparency on things. I can move the position of things. So such an easy way for you to create great graphics. You can upload your own images. Like I said, once you upload them, that's when you can then drag them and insert them. There are free backgrounds, so you can create something from scratch. But for a time saver, I usually like to start with the templates. Now, you could even search up here for, say, you want one that's about food. It's going to pull up all the ones that have something to do with food, and you can customize them from there. Within the folders, this is where all your other designs live. So, for instance, if I want to keep creating these quote graphics over and over again, I just keep going back to my design and just tweaking it, and then I come up and download it, and that's how I was able to quickly get these loaded into my Planoly, into my Instagram schedule. And it's just so quick and easy, and that's what you're looking for, is efficiency, but making them look branded. So I love this program for that. They even have down here in the more, you could go to YouTube and insert a YouTube video on your graphics. It links to your Instagram, even your Dropbox. You can also even just put some emojis on there. So many different things that you can do to create your visuals with Canva. So like I said, it's not an expensive program. It's got a free version, but you can see the Canva for Work certainly gives you a lot of other things. It gives you the palette for your brand, so that is not a free option. So that alone is worth $13 a month to me to be able to have that at my fingertips. So the other thing is you can have your team work as well, so other people can access this. It can be a place that you save things. So really love Canva for that reason. A great tool. So hopefully, like I said, I've given you some ideas about how to get more video into what you're doing for your photos, how to get some brand consistency, but also a wonderful tool for saving you time. I would highly encourage you to join one of my Facebook groups. I have one for small businesses and a separate one for nonprofits. I am going to start doing those weekly Facebook Lives. I am committing to it because there is just so much out there that I want to share with people, tips, tricks, things that are changing. Little spoiler, Facebook may not look like Facebook a year from now. Big changes are coming to Facebook, and as businesses, you need to know what you should be doing. And so highly recommend that you follow me over there. If you want to dive in even deeper, we have a conference coming up. It is a great day of learning, especially if Instagram is your hurdle. We are actually going to walk you through how to do your own Instagram story. We've got a speaker about Instagram. We've also got Jennings Birchfield's going to talk even more about video. Berkeley Young is going to talk about generational marketing, how to market to those different generations, and Matthew Montoya is going to talk about email marketing. So we've got so much planned. Would love to have you there. It is a great investment in knowing what to do in social media. My presentation is going to be about everything that's the latest and greatest and where the platforms are headed. So information that I think is going to be really helpful to you. We're offering a special webinar discount. I also am sending you a survey. When I do these webinars, I really like to hear from people so that I know what you learned, what you want to learn next. If you'll fill out that survey for me, within 24 hours, we're going to choose one person to come for free to our conference. So please fill out that survey, give me some feedback, have a chance to win a free ticket. But again, maybe consider purchasing one because we would love to have you there. If there's any questions, please go ahead and put those in the comments. I know I'm right at my time, but if you do have any questions that I can answer, or you can even email me offline. Let's see, I've got one here. Have a Rebel camera. I download the photos to my Mac, and then when I send them, they seem pixelated. She says they are too small. Thoughts about what we are doing during download, saving, or emailing that affects that. It's probably your camera settings, and I won't dive into that here, but that sounds more like a setting thing than a download. option. We usually use the SD card and transfer it directly to the computer. So I don't know if that's maybe causing the problem, because if you're doing that a little differently, but it sounds like it may be settings. A Rebel camera should not be pixelated. So I definitely think you might want to just take some photos and troubleshoot that a little bit. But feel free to email us offline, maybe even send us a photo, and I can take a look at it for you and see if that's something we could dive into and help you out with a little bit more. Any other questions? Like I said, I am going to send this PDF to you, and it's going to have the links to the videos. Please take a few minutes to go ahead and look at those, see if they can help you brainstorm for ideas for your own video. And I just wish you luck. I appreciate you being here. I thank the Chamber for partnering with us on this webinar. And like I said, stay in touch, because we have a lot more education coming out here, especially in the next few months. So thank you so much. Have a great day.